and you can see me, please do let me know. All right, so I'll be waiting for a couple of you to join in so that if you're there, I can possibly know. You can see me, please do let me know. Okay. All right, so I think a couple of you have joined me on LinkedIn. Thank you, and I'll look forward for a couple of more on Creator and on YouTube. So, welcome to today's session. And today's session is very, very interesting. It is a session which is related to, of course, building confidence at workplace, but it is talking about your limiting beliefs because I thoroughly, thoroughly believe that anything that you look forward to in life is here first and then it comes out. Okay. So, whether you're confident or you're not so confident, you have manifested it. Okay. So, whether you believe it or not, we're going to talk about this in today's session, and we're also going to talk about how do you really analyze yourself and how do you really figure the way out that how to break these limiting barriers. Okay, so thank you for joining in. So if you're there, do drop in hi in the chat window, and I'll be more than happy to respond you back with that. Excellent. So let's start. Okay, let's start with today's session because I was really excited for this one because this is what although I'm a spotlight coach and I help students and professionals in building their careers, but this is what I thoroughly believe in, that we create our own destiny, right? Okay, so talking about limiting beliefs and why I feel that limiting beliefs have a crucial role to play when I talk about your workplace is because limiting beliefs are the common lines that we keep regularly using, while we are doing our daily activities. Things like, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too naive, I don't have enough experience, someone must have done this, why should I really do it? So these stances, these statements that we speak, where we undermine our own selves, are nothing but your own limiting beliefs that you have created for yourself. That is the number one thing which I want you to know. And I'm going to talk about this in depth in today's session. So, if in life there is any goal that you've not accomplished, if in life you're not able to achieve something that you set for yourself, with whether it's business, whether it's career, it's your life, it's anything, believe me, the only reason is that something here is stopping you. The only biggest enemy that realistically you have is your own self. Okay, so the earlier you know this, the better you are off, right? So there are plenty of limiting beliefs, and we are going to talk about all them in the upcoming in the coming part of this session. So in this session, I would request you to, I'll give you a 2-3 minute pause to think and just analyze yourself a bit, so that after this session ends, you are better off with the understanding of how limiting beliefs are stopping you. Okay, so if you are ready to take that big step, drop me a yes in the chat window, and we are good to start with the today's session. Okay, so when we talk about limiting beliefs, the first part of it is to understand what are these limiting beliefs. So to put it very simple language, to put it very easily for you, is these are the assumptions. Okay, first of all, these are your assumptions, your perceptions that you have got about yourself and about the world. For example, the biggest perception we all stay with is that we need to work really hard to make it to the top. Okay. And you also know, and I also know, we all know there are multiple examples of people who prove this to be right, where they have put in tremendous amount of hard work to be where they are. And, and you also have another set of people whom you feel, how come they have all this? I have never seen them doing the kind of hard work that it takes to reach where they are, right? This happens. We all know it. Okay, so you agree or you don't agree, we all know this happens. So these assumptions that we draw about ourselves or about the situations around us, our external environment, are nothing but our limiting beliefs. Now you must be thinking, how are the beliefs formed? Why do they even form for that matter? The limiting beliefs start forming right from early childhood. And if you're a student of psychology and if you read books, the reason they say that till the age of 7, a child is like a soft sponge. The only thing that a child does is he keeps absorbing everything and anything in front of him. Zero analysis, 100% absorption. You shout in front of him, he understands shouting for the rest of his life. You tell him abundance, he learns abundance. You tell him scarcity, he learns scarcity. You tell him the world is not good, it's full of enemies, he learns that. You tell him empathy, you tell him care, he remembers that. You tell him how he should be in the world, how caring he should be, he remembers that. And these 7 years of age are, that is why, very crucial. And there's a very interesting saying which says that you give me a child for 7 years and I'll give you the man he would be, or the woman she would be, right? This is the reason. Because while we are child, that is the time when the most of our limiting beliefs are formed, and they are formed at a very subconscious level. Because as a child, there is no analysis. Being a mother of a 4-year-old, I completely understand this. And as a parent, it took me time to realize this, right? So the purpose, now the question is why the beliefs are formed. That's very important. So our brain, what it does, it spots patterns. Okay, brain is full of neurons, right? We all know that. So it forms patterns. This happens, this happens, this happens. So there is a consequence event which occurs. So it tries to process everything in form of information, right? So the purpose of belief formation is to understand the world and remain safe. Because as humans, our human basic instinct is we want to be alive, we want to be safe, we don't want to die. That's the basic human instinct. Money, love, everything goes away when it comes to death, right? We all want to be alive, we all want to be safe. So in early childhood, these beliefs are based on our experiences during that time. Our parents or the other dominant figures in the family, our grandparents if we stay with them, our teachers, right? Very easy example that I usually, as parents, or if you have a nephew or a niece, you would relate with, that we tell our children that if you hit someone, you will be punished. So what do the children make a limiting belief, that okay, if I hit someone, I will get punished. So hitting people is bad because I'm getting punished. Okay, then we tell them, okay, you say please and thank you, you will get rewarded. Being polite is something which is good. So they are drawing a action and a conclusion. Okay, so this is good. Okay, this is all relevant. So all belief systems are not limiting beliefs, but there are also limiting beliefs in a system where you might be thinking that you belong to a very humble family and your parents are not able to make it to meet you every now and then because they're working very hard to get good accommodation for you, good food for you, good amenities for you. But what is the limiting belief you create in your mind as a child? I might not be good enough, that they are not with me, they want to spend time at their work. This is the limiting belief. And this will hold you back for the rest of your life until unless you don't break it. You will feel that I do not have anything in me that people would like to stay with me. Why do people become, commonly a part of self-victimization? They feel that they do not deserve it. Why would somebody feel they don't deserve it? The only reason, the only time I feel that I would say that I don't deserve it, because there is a pattern. And when you keep thinking the same thing, you try to put evidence to it. You keep figuring out, see, I told you. Now, even my friends don't want to be with me. They don't come to my parties. They don't call me to their parties. So that belief keeps getting stronger and stronger, right? So when we move from a simple belief to a complex belief, your television, internet, books, novels, everything that you read, the movies that you see, the series that you see, everything is contributing to building of your belief systems, right? So it is not only that at the level of a child that this thing happens. It happens way beyond that also. It keeps happening. So beliefs are important. Beliefs are needed because they give us a stable foundation to live in the world, to feel safe, to understand what is happening. But Question is why we make some beliefs which are limiting in nature. So we have understood belief formation happens. Now, these patterns that we observe as a child, as a kid that are there, for example, there are people who feel that they grew up in a negative environment, a neglectful environment. So, what do you feel? You will always be put in, there would be so many toxic beliefs about yourself in your mind because your environment around you had an impact. So, that is why we say that when you have a child, give them that perfect environment, give them that happiness environment around you so that they are able to, be creating those good memories, right? So now we have understood the fact that in order to be living the life of your dreams, your limiting beliefs have to be taken care of. One more realization that we all must make is beliefs are not facts, they're perceptions, they're your assumptions, right? So they may or may not be true, but they have a huge impact on what kind of a person you are. So if I feel I'm not good enough, I don't know this, I don't deserve to earn, anything beyond whatever amount of financial limiting belief I have created, all these would hold me back. And they would have an impact on everything and anything I do. You will find people who have come from, people, they win lottery tickets, they earn crores, and all of a sudden they again loom back to the from the richness, they come back to that scarcity thing. Why? Because the limiting belief is I don't deserve the money. Even after winning it, you are not able to keep your energy up so that it stays with you. Right now we are talking about a professional structure here. We're talking about all of you are professionals, working students, entrepreneurs. So, what kind of limiting beliefs we fight with, because of which our confidence gets low? First one, the most common one, the favorite one of all. I don't have enough experience. I don't have the qualification. I have not graduated from a IIT, from a IIM. The most common limiting belief that I've heard as a career coach is this. It's a very common limiting belief. We often believe that we need to be going through a particular set of structure in order to achieve something. But we all also know that this is not the truth. There are multiple examples where people are able to make their dream, achieve their dream careers, get their dream jobs without having the desired so-called qualification, the desired so-called realistically implied skills that the world tells them. Right? So in entrepreneurship, it is not the lack of experience which is a problem. It's always the problem in the mind. Now, nobody was a born successful entrepreneur, right? Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, so he became what he is today after believing in himself before, becoming what he was. If he would have said, no, 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 I don't know anything, how can I create Facebook? He never had the right approach of everything. He just gave it a try. He had a thought in mind, he put it into action, and he believed in himself. He never understated or undermined his own capabilities. Another very common belief system that I find is very limiting is when we say, okay, I don't think so, I can do this well, somebody else is more suitable. If you're given a chance to speak at a host function, you might end up saying, no, I can't, I can't do this, because I don't know public speaking. I think maybe XYZ can do it better. So, what have you done again? This is another limiting belief where you think you do not have the skill set and somebody else is better than you. I am not saying that this situation may or may not be true. The point that I'm trying to make is that most of the times, these are the limiting beliefs that we have created for ourselves. Another very common excuse we give is I don't have the money or I don't have the time, right? You tell somebody to take care of their health, 120% you will find people telling you I don't have time, how busy my schedule is, I have to do this, that, and they would give you a whole lot of things. So what does this mean? That's another limiting belief that you have created in your mind because you are not ready to change it. And why are we not ready to change the limiting beliefs that we have? The mind is supposed to be your servant, but when we make our mind our master is when we suffer. Okay, so I just love this audio by Earl Nightingale where he says that your mind is like a barren land. Okay, so whether you sow the seeds of positivity or you sow the seeds of negativity, the mind is going to give out the result. So you tell your mind, I am so tired, I can't get up in the morning, I cannot have a side hustle, I have a full time corporate job. Absolutely, you cannot do it. And the day you start telling your mind, I have the capability to be more than this. I am going to create my side hustle along with this. I am going to be a confident leader at my organization. Your mind will start reiterating the same. Okay. So please, I mean, I don't know if this is connecting to all of you, but this is how it all comes down to. This is how it works. Okay. So now for you, I want all of you to right now find out with me that what are your limiting beliefs. First part of the point is that most of the limiting beliefs are subconscious. You would not even know that they exist. You consciously you might not be aware about them. So it takes a while to understand them. So how do you do that? The first step to this is that stop criticizing yourself. Analyze yourself, but don't criticize yourself. We are in June. What is it? It's 11th of June today. So it's almost, half of the year is gone by. We all must have put up some goals in January. We all do. Somebody, must have put it about for health, for career, whatever for them, you put it up. Now, when you have to analyze yourself right now, instead of telling that why you failed, like every time, I always knew I can't do this. I never have the time. These are all limiting beliefs. So if you want to understand yourself better, what would you do? You would instead ask questions where you are not self-criticizing. You would ask, were the goals realistic? Did I think before setting them up? If they were realistic, why could not I meet them? Was there some external thing which was impacting me? Or was it my own personal choice where I decided, okay, I'm not going to do it? I'll tell you my own situation. I am a very, I'm a morning person. I get up quite early and do a lot of health related and meditative practices. But I went for a small vacation a couple of months back, and my routine it just got broke. It I could not, and since then I am struggling every single day to get back to my routine. Now, who is supposed to be responsible? I am the only one who's responsible because I am not able to get up when my alarm blows up. It There were times in the past when my daughter and me slept at 2 in the night, and I would still get up at 5 in the morning. But now, even after if I sleep at 12:30 in the night, I would not get up in the morning saying I slept so late. I am giving myself this liberty to not abide by what I want to do. Okay, so focus on your own behavior. Understand, I have now changed the strategy. I'm trying to switch, I'm trying to change the way I'm doing it. I am much better off, I am much closer to my old routine, and I'm very sure by next 4 5 days I'm going to be back to what I used to do. Okay, so you can ask questions where, ask yourself if the goals were realistic. Ask yourself if you could not meet them, what was the reason? Were there external reasons? Was it your internal behavior which you gave yourself the leverage? And what outcomes were you afraid of that you did not abide by what you had planned for yourself? And what are the patterns that you have observed in yourself? Okay, when you feel that okay, I'm not doing something, there is a force which is stopping you from doing anything. Try to understand what is it that you are doing. Keep asking those questions in order to make sure that you are able to analyze what exactly is it that is holding you back, right? So you can say, simply you can say that I could not possibly do, I could not possibly get up in the morning because, and write down the reasons which come to your mind so that you are able to give yourself answers to that. Right, so that is the first thing you must do. The second thing you must do, which you can do, is you can help yourself find out that what is it which gives you utter happiness. So always try to attach your goal to something which gives you joy. Don't set your goals based on what others want you to do. Okay, I visited a spiritual person 3 4 days back. Let me share a quick experience with you on that. And that was a very, it was like I would say, eye-opening kind of a thing that I got. So this person asked me that, what do you think you are made of? So do you think you are a outcome, or you're a part of your parents, who you are actually? So he said that if you think you're a part of your parents, which you are at a body level, because as per biology, yes, the two genes came together and I came out of it. At the soul level, you are part of something which is above, which we are not aware of, some supernatural power. Somebody can say Bhagwan, somebody can say Allah, somebody can say Jesus Christ, whatever belonging you have, we can we can do that. The point he was trying to make was that any actions that you take, any duties that you fulfill, any relationship related commitments that you complete, you do it for this body. Okay, so Dr. Sneha Sharma is this body that the name was given. I got some degrees and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's all at a very basic body level. But you, as a soul, you, until unless you don't do things which give you joy, which give you a chance to explore yourself, you will not be happy. So that's why I said, set your goals which give you happiness. Don't try to become something because somebody has told you that you need to become that. Do things which give you joy, do things which give you happiness, because your happiness, your joy is going to give you that drive to become your limitless self. Your true potential would come out only when that stage comes, right? So try to do that for yourself for a day or two. Instead of living by what others tell you to do, start living by what gives you joy. Just do that. We don't do that. We are too much into FOMO. So let's try to do that. So if I have to, bring it all together to you, that why I picked up this topic with respect to confidence at workplaces, that whenever at work we feel that we are not able to present ourselves confidently, the only things which come up are limiting barriers. First limiting barriers, I am not good enough. Second limiting barrier, I don't know how to speak English. Third limiting barrier, I have never spoken in front of people. Fourth limiting barrier, I am an introvert, I cannot speak. Fifth limiting barrier is, I don't deserve where I am, so how can I even present myself? People would mock at me. So these all limiting barriers are here, and to break them is, first you accept that okay, this exists. Step number 2 is you start the retraining of your brain. You start putting those affirmations the other way around. You try to understand your purpose. You question those limiting beliefs. You try to maybe laugh at them, that how does your mind even create such things, and then you start formulating the new beliefs. You might reject the whole process considering what are you talking about. But if you read anything which is related to neuroplasticity, which relates to understanding of how the human brain works, what is the limitless potential it has, you would know that you have the power and the knowledge to know everything, to do everything, to be everything, right? So in this book by Joe Dispenza that I keep referring to, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he says that in order to become truly who you are, you have to become nobody. So you have that. What does that mean? That you have to stop attaching yourself to your old belief system. If I want to be a confident person at my workplace, I have to stop telling myself every day in the mirror when I stand and look at myself that I can't do it. I have to tell myself that yes, you can do it. Today I am going to present myself. I will do this, and people will clap, they will appraise me, they will speak positively of me, and this will change the way things happen. Okay, so give it a try. I do not deny that you don't have to work hard. I do not deny that you have to put in efforts. You need skill set. You need the right approach. You need to set your goals, but without telling or breaking your old belief system, your old mind barriers, your limiting beliefs, it would be a battle that you can never win, because the battle is against yourself. If it is with a person who's outside, the person can leave, you can change your place, but how do you leave yourself? You can't leave yourself, you are to be with yourself. So it's about telling yourself every single day in the morning that I am this, I am complete, I am confident, and I am going to present myself. And then you put in the grind, you put in the hard work, and you put yourself out to make sure that you are formulating and retraining your brain so that it remembers the new things. Because in they say that the only way to forget anything is stop revisiting it. If you want to forget something, don't revisit. It will get rewired with new understandings. It's as simple as that. There is no rocket science to it. So it's very simple a process, but it is so simple that as so learned people that we have become with the knowledge that we have, we don't tend to believe that we really have the control. So in two lines, if I have to summarize today's session is that do not live with a victim mindset. You are not a victim of your circumstances. No one but you are responsible for everything that is happening with you. Your current circumstances are an outcome of the choices that you made in the past. So you cannot run from them. Accept them. You want to change them. Take the ownership. It is not easy. I will tell you again, it is not easy. But take the ownership, put in the effort, and you will be able to break the limiting barriers that exist with you, right? And this will make you confident person at all possible levels. At as a you know confidence in our first session, I remember on Creator, somebody said, how do you deal with people who take confidence equivalent to being very aggressive? A person who's confident will never be competing. A person who's aggressive is always competing. So when you are confident, because you know what you are, you would never feel that somebody is pulling you down, because nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody knows. It's my own. That's why I say that when people tell me what I am capable of, I just don't take it very seriously, because they don't know what I am made of. They don't know what efforts I can do. I can do everything. I can ruin myself and I can create what I want out of my life the day I decide, right? So take the ownership, right? So with this, I think I would be more than happy to take the questions for confidence at workplace, because I'm going to soon start another series from the next fortnight where we are going to talk about communication skills, and I'm going to introduce you to a lot of small aspects of communication skills which eventually help you in building the confidence, right? Because I think the problems in the world are because of lack of communication or miscommunication, and the solution to all the problems in the world is yet again communication. So we do not have any other option but to learn communication. Okay, right. Let's see quickly, what we have as in the questions. So how can I contribute to make others feel confident at a workplace? That's a great question, Naina. I think the best way you can make others feel confident at workplace is that you do not really need to tell them their if you have to tell someone, if you have to criticize someone, you have to be very empathetic while doing that. A confidence always gets shattered, it always gets broken when you tell somebody about what is not being right with them, how things are not falling in place. So instead of telling people, pulling them down, if you want to make somebody feel confident, empower them. The only way to make people feel confident is empowerment. If I talk about even kids, if you want to make your kids, if you want to see confident kids, the only way is to empower them. Treat them as adults is the only way that you can raise confident kids, right? The next one is, let's quickly see what other questions we have. Ananya is asking, sometimes I'm nervous in certain situations at workplace. What can I do to improve the situation? I think, Ananya, you are nervous because you have already set a place that, okay, in this situation I have to behave like this. Why don't you take every situation as a new situation? Okay, that today is a new day, and today everything I do, I will use this, I will be present, and I will act accordingly. We always feel nervous, we always feel jittery when we try to compare ourselves with something else. I have to be like this, and if I don't, that is the time I will feel nervous. So instead of trying to live with the past experiences, learn from them, but quickly try to present yourself considering the current situation as a new perspective. I think that will actually solve your problem. You would take, if you take every situation as a new situation, you're not giving yourself a competition. You're not going with the limiting belief that okay, in front of 100 people I can't speak because your past tells you that you weren't able to speak last time. What if you go as if that okay, today I'm prepared, I'm going to tell 100 people that how we do this effectively. So your nervousness will automatically get, it will go invisible. So Gagan is asking, how can we know if we are being overconfident? Gagan, overconfidence is when you are not able to listen to the feedback, when you are not being able to reciprocate, be empathetic to your other panelists, to your other members of the audience. That is the time people may feel that you're overconfident because somebody is telling you something and you tell them, no, 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 it doesn't work this way. So even if you are 100% sure, a confident person is always very calm. A confident person is never aggressive because he or she exactly knows what he or she is made of, right? So this situation would be very much sorted. How can we demonstrate confidence at work? Well, because it's not about how we can demonstrate confidence at work. Anywhere, if you have to be confident, like I say, there are three pillars of confidence. You need to have the clarity of what you're doing in any form: personal relationship, societal relationships, official relationships. Clarity. What is it that you're trying to do? Having the related content, that what exactly do you want to put across? And then you connect those two things and present them confidently. So if you actually have the clarity of what you have to say and you have the content that what you want to say, the chances are that you will be able to present yourself very, very effectively, right? Ashwin is asking, I'm a bit of an introvert. How can I build confidence in communication skills? Ashwin, being an introvert is a limiting barrier. Okay, I'm telling you. So try to analyze yourself that why do you think you are an introvert? And like I suggested, Ananya, instead of thinking about the past of your life, how you have handled things in the past, take every situation as a new situation, and you would not consider yourself an introvert anymore. Okay. And in order to make sure that you're able to calm down the nerves that you think make you feel an introvert, whenever you're going to a place where there are a bunch of people with whom you need to communicate, make sure you have the two C's ready, the clarity and the content. If they are in place, the third C will automatically be there. Confidence will come when you have the content and the clarity, because then you would know what you really want to speak. Okay, right. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Right, right. Glad anybody on LinkedIn who would like to share or has any question, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I think I'm done with the questions on Creator. Right. So I don't know if this session could really, relate with all of you. Now, when I say this, again, this is another limiting belief that I just spoke. Why am I not sure that this session added value? I had prepared for the session. I am sure of what I'm speaking. I'm sure this session would have added value to you. So this is how you retrain your brain. Okay. I just did it in front of you. I spoke something which I should not have, because when I prepared, when I know what I'm speaking, when I know I'm doing value addition, why am I supposed to victimize myself? Why am I supposed to see I'm not sure if I'm adding value? I am 100% sure that this session would have opened your thought process towards changing your limiting beliefs. Okay, that is what I intended to do, and I hope I have successfully accomplished the same. Okay, all right. So if we have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to take them. Otherwise, we are going to catch back in another 15 days, and I'm going to release a new session of series where we're going to talk about communication skills, and more than happy to be on the platform again. So thank you very much and keep safe, and I'm going to catch you soon. Thank you very much for joining. Bye bye for now. Have a great day ahead.